In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my monthly reset routine that helps me become the best version of myself and achieve the things I want. Keep watching for tips on things that you can do to reset for the new month ahead. Finished therapy with my therapist, and I encourage anybody who has been thinking about potentially seeking a therapy session or help in some way that you do it, because there's often things like when you set goals, when I set monthly goals, there's often things that will stop me achieving those goals that I don't even realize are holding me back, like subconsciously. Through therapy, I've actually realized that things like I procrastinate on certain topics in my life or certain categories in my life. And through therapy, I've understood that it's not just me being lazy or it's not just me procrastinating. It's coming from somewhere else that's happened in the past that now working through that makes me understand, that's why I didn't do this, or that's why I don't want to complete this, and this is why, and certain things start to connect and make sense. So I would, if you're not achieving the things that you want, or you're feeling unhappy in certain areas of your life, I'd honestly tell you, hand on heart, therapy will potentially unlock some of those things and help you move forward. That's why I want to say a huge thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Regardless of if you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, I've experienced those things, I know what they feel like, or you're just a human who just wants some help in achieving the things that you want to achieve in your life. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable, accessible, because finding a therapist can be quite difficult, especially if you live in a remote area or in a country where I live, where I'm from the UK but I live in Thailand, and for me to find a specific therapist that not only speaks English but also connects with me and what I'm looking for, then that can be quite challenging. So especially if you're somebody who maybe you don't even want to just leave your house. I don't want to leave my house. I want to do therapy like you saw me, wrapped up in my blanket, cozy, with a cup of coffee at home, in my bed or on my sofa, where I feel most comfortable. And that's what it's all about, is making it accessible, affordable, and open to everybody. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's all done online, the power of the internet. They'll ask you a couple of questions about you and what you're looking for, and then within a couple of days they match you with a professional therapist that they think is the right match for you, which mine was done really, really quickly. It's really easy to sign up, and you can use my link in the description box, which is betterhelp.com/SarahEmily. It's betterhelp.com/SarahEmily. Again, I've put it all down in the description box below. Clicking that link will not only support my channel, which I'm very grateful for, but it'll also give you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. And remember, therapy is like dating. If you don't have the perfect fit for the first therapist that you matched with, you can switch to another one. And that's the beauty of BetterHelp, is the fact that this happened to me, that my first therapist was really lovely, nothing wrong with her whatsoever, but I just felt like it wasn't the right fit for me. So I had the option to switch to a new therapist, and he's, for me, like the perfect one. And I just connect with him on such a level without the complication, with no extra cost, without having to source another therapist from anywhere. You know, it's all done for you, and I just absolutely love that option, because you might have to switch through a few before you find the one that you feel comfortable with and is the right fit for you. So if you are thinking about it, then click the link in the description box below. Again, it's betterhelp.com/SarahEmily. That's betterhelp.com/SarahEmily to get 10% off your first month. And let me know how you go.
next thing I like to do is just some reflection on the previous month. Only when we do that can we realize what we want to take forward and what we want to let go of and appreciate the little things in life. I'll put the questions on the screen, so if you want to do this as well, you can do it too. The first question is, what were my wins this month and what made me happy? The second question is, what habits did I have that helped me? What challenges did I face? How could I have done things differently? What acts of self-care have I given myself this month? What habits will I continue or implement for next month? I want to do more of ... I want to do less of ... What am I grateful for? And what am I looking forward to in the next month?
Some habits that I want to continue for next month would be definitely waking up early, definitely getting my bum to the gym. And I think before I was always so strict with like what workout I was going to do, when I was going to do it, like so obsessed. And now I've started to just do what I feel like doing. For example, if I don't feel like putting my bum in the gym, I'll go for a swim if I feel. Today I went for a run. So it's just whatever my body feels like doing, that's what I'm doing, because that is better than not going at all and overthinking it and just, not even stepping out of the house. Because I'm looking forward to next month. We'll definitely be planning our trip to Europe. I'm so excited. We're going in September and I cannot express to you how excited I am for that. And so now I'm going to take you into how I do the goal session. I will link my Notion templates in the description box below if you want to grab them. Or you can just do this on paper. I often sit down and rewrite my goals on paper. I think the more you rewrite them, the more you think about them and the more inspired action you'll take towards them. Okay, so some of my goals from last month: under self-development, reading 30 minutes per morning, yes. When I say morning, I mean Monday to Friday, not on the weekends. I give myself a break. Therapy weekly, yes. Meditation daily, not quite daily, I wouldn't say. Silent retreat, we're about to go into a silent retreat. That's why I'm filming this a little bit early. So it's going to be done, like it's all booked. We're flying to Chiang Mai. So we're going to do just a couple of days retreat with the monks in the jungle. So I'm going to do a whole video on that. So I'm very excited for it. Under YouTube, record fitness journey. Yes, I started to record the start of my fitness journey. Consistently upload. Questionable. Sign new sponsor, yes, and create new video template. When I say that, I mean like in Notion. I feel quite overwhelmed with YouTube, like planning the content and getting it all nice and tidy with what I want to film. So I've created a template that allows me to do that now. And hit 25k, I didn't do that. We are stuck on YouTube. I'm trying, but it's going very slowly. Health and fitness, record beginning a fitness journey. I've written that again. Yes. Work out 3 to 5 times per week. Yes. Miscellaneous, this is where we fell off. Italian, Duolingo, 20 minutes per day. At the start of the month I was really, really good, and then I fell off track. I definitely need to do some work on that. Experiment with new cocktails and mocktails. We haven't done that because we were thinking to start the 75-day hard challenge and then realized we couldn't really start it now because we're going to Roberta's brother's wedding. We're going to Sicily. There is no way on this planet that I'm not gonna have aperitivos in the sun with with some nice cocktails or, Negronis. So sorry, but no, not gonna happen. So we've not been experimenting because we haven't bought anything to experiment with. Tried baking in the air fryer. Haven't done that either. Notion refresh. I've done a little bit of work like tidying up my Notion, but I could do a lot more. Business organize, hard drive, yes. Finance, mindful spending. I've been a little bit better in terms of, I would go onto Shein and buy like a lot of nonsense on Shein, where they do have good stuff. I'm not saying they don't, but like, I feel like you value things so much more when you spend a little bit more money. And I'm not saying like everything on Shein is terrible or whatever, but I think sometimes when you walk into a shop and you feel the fabric and you feel the quality of something, it sits a lot better. In terms of like when you open your wardrobe, you feel like so good to see it hanging on your hanger, and it's like, why not? Why, I understand if you're on a super strict budget and you don't have you don't have extra money to spend, then I get it. But also I'm reading this book about money mindset, and it's called Get Rich Lucky, and it's about money mindset and how we think about money. And she often talks in there about how even just like always choosing the cheap option, always start to align with something a little bit higher and a little bit better. Obviously don't go and spend all of your money. So instead of opting for like the cheapest thing on Shein, for example, like why can't I go and buy better quality things? So that's what I've been a lot better with. I'm not saying go and waste your money, but I think spending money on quality things is okay. Like, it's okay. And wedding finalized 3 venues to visit in September. Yes, very exciting stuff. So we're getting married, for those of you who might be new, we're getting married next year in Italy, and we need to go and, my partner's Italian, so we need to go and finalize our venue, which is very exciting things.
I then like to go into my Notion template and write out my goals for the next month. Then I go and do a brain dump just to get everything out of my mind onto paper or digital form.